So we're back again with another podcast. Today we have someone who's a super cool streamer. This guy, he seems like he's always in Zen mode. He's oozing away positivity all the time. And I think it's been a year, I believe, that he's been into poker, a little bit more than a year. And from free rolls to now being a streamer for Poker Baazi. So I'm super happy to have Bhushan, a Funchampion, on stream with us today. So hey,
Thank you,
Bhushan, what's
thank
up?
you. Thank you for the invite and thank you for having me over. Means a
Great.
lot.
Yeah, it took a lot of convincing to get Bhushan. Not a lot of convincing actually, but yeah, I had to get him on board.
Yeah, for one major reason is I wasn't sure how much value I'd be adding to the podcast. I mean, I've been following a lot of podcasts and a lot of interviews, and I've
Huh?
seen a lot of pros and a lot of established players come in. So I wasn't really sure what angle we are gonna talk about. But hey, I'm happy to be
Yeah,
whatever
yeah.
of whatever value we are gonna be talking about. I'll be happy to add
Awesome,
to it.
awesome. So I believe there are so many layers, right? Because there's a whole story of it's been a year, you're eventually
Sure.
streaming content. And last night, Adi and Shobit were on stream for N Boss, and we were talking about how more and more people should start streaming and what's
Right.
the entire story. So that's what I want to cover. So it'll be fun to do that actually.
Sure.
But before we dive into that, I just want to understand. I've seen quite a few of your streams, and I believe that you're an engineer, right? A mechanical engineer.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, so those are the guys who are a little shy and introvert, and also you don't give those vibes. So I'm excited to actually know what made mechanical engineering shift into poker, and what's your story to getting into poker. I don't believe what's your success story, but I'm saying how did you eventually make a shift into poker? So something
All
along
right.
those. Yeah.
All right. So, poker story is like they say standard,
Uh
you know,
huh.
because
Offline Diwali.
you follow it passively. Same thing I did. You one fine day you just stumble upon it, and for me that was during the lockdown, and I found out that trust me, I mean, I've spent so many hours of my life online, YouTube and other stuff, following content and stuff,
Uh
and I
huh.
followed a lot of poker content passively. I had no clue India had such a huge online poker scene. I mean, I was shocked how come I didn't know anything about this. I was so unaware of this. And after that, I was like, hey, if it's there, then let's get on with it. And coincidentally, the first site and the first ID that I made on any sort of poker, site is Poker Baazi. So
Oh, sick one.
that's probably the reason why I put my name, put zero creativity in it, and just put in my name as
uh,
my username. And that's how I started. I genuinely started with free rolls, and then I immediately understood that there's so much to it. So started studying on the side, and it just snowballed, man, and just
got
no
it.
stopping after that.
Perfect. If we just roll it back a little bit, I'd say again, coming back to mechanical engineering, that
Yeah.
happened back in when? That happened in
All right, that happened back in 2007.
uh, 2007. So, and
Yeah.
that is in Pune itself, was it?
No, that was in Ratnagiri. I was studying in
Okay.
Finolex College, which is Bombay
Okay.
University, basically.
Suppose that you worked and stuff, and then you
Yeah,
came across.
I was
Yeah,
in core industry. I was working in power plants and stuff on site. But
typical
I was,
mechanical.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, ekdam core mechanical, pakka mechanic.
Uh.
So so
So
all
yeah, we'll
that
keep it
was
Hindi also a little bit. Okay, done.
sure, sure.
Ah,
तो वहां से but I was always the bare minimum guy, if
ah,
that makes sense to you. I have If anybody follows Office Space or something like that, I've been that the bare minimum guy who wants to do nothing in life.
got
Like
it.
if you ask like what's your dream thing, like okay, I don't want to do anything, I just want to chill. So
Oh wow.
that
Ah,
was my thing, and my profile and everything that I was doing there was completely opposite of it. Like you have to be on site, you have to work like 12 hours, 14 hours, and so expected to work.
travel
I
a
never
lot
did
to
that.
sites. Correct, correct.
I never did that though.
Acha.
But then I always dreamed of having a simpler life always, or doing something else that made me a lot happier. It wasn't like I wasn't happy. I loved the mechanical field. I loved everything to do with it. But then the pursuit was always there. And after that, shift happened when I moved to MNC culture from site culture, and then I got a lot of time. But then I also discovered paragliding and a whole new outdoor world. That was back in 2016,
Okay.
and that outdoor world kind of put me in that zone of like what are we doing, like so many years
Operate
of
on
our
your
life.
terms.
Yeah, we
Ah,
should be taking some steps, and mad credit to bad managers so to help us think, very actively in terms of following what we want to do.
Got
So
it.
that's what I did. One fine day I decided, yeah, I'll just try and pursue something in paragliding, and I just quit my job. We'll figure out. That's what my plan was. We'll figure out.
Wow.
So we quit the job, and I had some roadmap in mind. So like do some sort of flying. India has a huge hub of paragliding activity in Himachal. If
Uh-huh.
people are
Yeah.
not aware, yeah. So Himachal is huge in that. Like people from world over come to Himachal to fly and build their flying logs, flying hours. So that was my plan. Go there, do the flying stuff, and probably join a team of people who are into it and stuff. So that's how it shaped up in terms of living an independent life.
Got it.
And and after that came lockdown. I just quit my job. A year of scouting. I went to Northeast, I went to Gujarat. I was doing good amount of traveling, and things were getting traction, just getting traction, and kind of freelance. So I was also thinking of making content in terms of paragliding, because again, in Indian space there's a lot less awareness, and
Correct.
forget content, even awareness about paragliding.
Right.
People think it's jumping out of an airplane, which is like not the case.
Not bad. Correct. Correct.
He's gliding off a mountain.
Right. 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 Oh, I'm scared. I'm scared of heights. So yeah. So
Actually, there's not much to be scared, because you're literally going at the speed of 30 to 40 kilometers per hour. That's not
okay.
scary, right?
It's
It's
not
fun.
scary, but
It's
the height
fun.
is the problem. But yeah, like you said.
Oh no, the higher you are, the safer you are. You don't want to be
Oh.
close to ground.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
because most accidents happen close to ground. So yeah, it's really fun to understand all of these aspects, which are very counterintuitive. Exactly like you said, I also has the opinion, like it's so high up now. If I do some mistake, it's going to be bad. But actually, it's counterintuitive. And when you realize that, you explore more and you learn, a different aspect of
Fantastic.
it.
Got it. So so now we kind of get an idea, and I think a lot, because you stream a lot. A lot of people actually come and watch your streams. It's really nice. Everyone's going to get an insight on a lot of these things about you. So that's pretty cool. Okay, so we know this about you now. So this is a story which led you to into poker.
Yeah.
And my second question was about travel, because I know about that. I've seen your social media and I see that you love traveling, and I've seen you do
Yeah.
that. And like we just explained, how does poker fit in with that now that lockdown is kind of over and we can travel again? So is like poker something which is keeping you back to the tables, or is it giving you the freedom that okay, I can yet be on a mountain and play poker? How does it work?
Yeah. Yeah. So there are a couple of things in it. Like I am at a junction in poker where it's just been 1 year. Like
Correct.
I've just started putting in serious effort, serious volume, and serious commitment towards what I'm doing. So like I was saying, yeah, we have started to see some output from the world of poker now,
Yeah.
and that's definitely something that's encouraging a lot more. In sense of travel, yes, that also has been a journey. Travel with work, like with my office and stuff like that, that has been a very different way of traveling. So travel with work was different. Travel with paragliding was very different, because then there was no plush. Then holy shit, God, stop it, get back.
Oh, get him on stream. It'll be fun.
Yeah, I will
Is
get
he
them.
big or is he chotu?
There are two. There's UC and there's
Oh.
Coco. Yeah.
Oh
So yeah, there are a
wow.
bunch. No, they are now super psyched, because there must be somebody outside the door cleaning and the
Ah.
apartments and stuff. Okay, so cut. Take
Yeah.
three. All right. So travel with work was very different. It was all plush and everything was sorted, planned. Travel with paragliding was very much different from that, like polar opposite of it, because it was unplanned, no creature comforts, and you have a lot of
Correct.
luggage on yourself, and you're traveling. You're basically backpacking with a lot of load on your back, and with freedom, because then you don't know when you're gonna have your
There's
next
no.
destination,
Yeah.
next
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
So all that was fun. And with poker, I feel a lot of freedom is going to come in. It's just a matter of time. So I'm not really like I saw you mentioned in one of your questions whether there's a FOMO in terms of not getting to travel much. Is it keeping me back? So rather than thinking of it like that, I feel now is the time to put in efforts, put in time, and that's what I'm focused on. I'm really not thinking of whether it's pulling me back, keeping me on the tables. This
Oh,
is what I
interesting.
left. this is what I left to live an outdoor life, but I'm back in the sea.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm not thinking about that. No, I mean, I've been pretty active on the mindset part and having a growth mindset, and all this is really shunned, not even in terms of consideration in my
Wow. I'm going to come back to
overall.
this growth mindset part. I really would
Yeah,
love to know what you're doing for it. But anyway, let's move to that. So now that we come here, you said that it's been a year, and it's you've been you've tried your this thing in multiple places. So like you say, poker. What's the goal with poker? And because I also see you're a content maker with your vlogs, with streaming. So is it to become a winning poker player who makes money when you win? Is it to become a content maker who probably, I don't know how are they going to make money, versus a side income is what you consider poker as, while you also want to pursue something else? So how do you see your goal as poker today? Yeah.
yeah, yeah. That's super interesting of a of a thought when you put it
Yeah,
like that. But
because a
for
lot
me,
of
it's very
people are at this
yeah,
stage, right, where they don't know
yeah,
what
yeah.
am I going to do with this.
What
So
am I gonna do? Yeah,
yeah, is
exactly.
it going to
But
be
for
enough
me,
or no?
yeah,
Yeah.
for me, it's again, it's very simple because I'm only focused on one thing, that is learning poker every single day and getting better every single day, and that is taking care of everything else. Like, do I want to be a winning player? That's happening by default when I'm doing every single day, learning and building on part of it. I'm focusing on technical skills, I'm focusing on the mental game every single day. I'm putting in at least enough number of hours playing as well as studying about it, that I have no time left to do anything else, not even to think about anything else. So,
Wow.
really, all the other things, will fall in line and are falling in line. Like, I started making streams when I had zero game, when I had zero knowledge, and that was only for the sole purpose of building a role from scratch, because there was a contest on IPPA where I participated up for streaming, where I
Oh,
was so sure I was going to talk about poker, and I was so enthusiastic about it. I knew that I was going to crack it, and I just did it. So it was like first thing, like, I set my mind to it. I was so good at it, I knew it. And like 5,000 kind of it was a sum of 5,000 for the first place who streams, yeah, for
got it.
some whatever minimum hours. So I did that, and that was immediately my poker bankroll, like boost to my poker bankroll, which was again built from zero on Poker Baazi. I had my first few wins from there itself, like 1,000 rupee tournament wins and all, like 10 rupee buy-in and like 1,000 rupee
So
and
you've done that grind completely.
oh
I
yeah,
think
yeah, yeah,
Shobit was
yeah,
talking about it last night on stream. He's like, yeah, I respect Bhushan a lot for this because he used to play like 10 rupee buy-ins and
oh
free
yeah.
rolls.
I have screenshots of all of those tournaments. Like, first few tournaments I won 10 rupee. There's a 20 rupee tournament that I won at second and stuff like that. So yeah, I have gone through all of that, and I've been going through that and a lot more, even free rolls, with a very clear understanding that in some frame of time, this is all going to be a nice
Payoff.
part of a nice journey, and rather than payoff, I'd say I know where I'm getting at. So it's just a matter of doing that journey.
I see a lot of process that has actually come into you, right? Like you're believing in this hardcore. Like this is because again, I want to emphasize on this is because it's the difficult part, right? Like you said, it's been like, it's where you want to shift to the higher stakes or you want to try crack
No,
the end boss. Not you, not
no,
you. I'm
I
talking
don't
about,
feel.
yeah, I'm talking about the
I
general
I
people.
don't feel. Okay, general
Yeah, yeah,
populace.
yeah.
Yeah,
Be
yeah.
it me
We'll
or
get to that.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So all,
I
yeah.
feel. I feel we so much want to have that one lottery ticket to
Uh-huh.
overnight plushness, overnight stage where we are comfortable.
Yeah.
That search for comfort in everybody's head, is what is probably the root of all this. If you're not looking for comfort, like, why do we want a big bankroll? Why do we want the high stakes? Just so that we can have that comfort, that cushion of that much money to be able to do that. But what if you don't have it and if you're still doing it? Like, that's not even a thought that crosses anybody's mind. Like, we want that kind of money, right? That's the main thought, and the whole process that we are looking at. I feel that's where we are messing up big time. And if we are not ready to go through this, like, if my goal is just becoming better at poker, and if that's returning so many other things that I'm not even thinking about, like you said, uh, content maker and side income. Like, side income is not even, like, until you mentioned it on one of the questions, it wasn't even on my mind, like
Wow.
side income or an income. it has been feeding like all of this setup, like the lights, the camera, the additional screen and everything, the mic, all of this has been fed by poker. And I haven't been thinking about it, like, you know, abhi ek mahine mein ye kharidunga, 2 mahine mein wo kharidunga. It's just, if poker is returning, I am pushing it in to the content, into learning. Like first 40k I made, 25k I put into learning, and I again went down to whatever stakes that was needed. So I've been always been sure of, you know, I'm getting there. I've always followed all of these guys whom I play with today. Like, you know, yesterday I messaged Spushy on chat, like big fan, and he messaged back, good luck, buddy. And I was like, this is like the dream. I mean, I've been watching these guys play on stream. Somebody stream or talk about them here.
These
about
are like Sachin Tendulkars of poker. And imagine
course.
if you were cricket and you could talk to Sachin. It's like your goal, right?
Yeah,
So I can imagine the excitement.
Yeah, you say GG Sachin, and he says, yeah, good luck to you too.
Yeah, it's
That's
crazy,
like
right? Yeah, it's crazy. So I can
I know.
completely imagine what you're talking about.
So I think I visualized through this entire time this particular moment, and there's many more to come, and not thinking about this as a goal, but what I'm doing is right, and whatever has to follow will of course follow through it, if I'm putting in the right effort.
Bhushan, I'm like, you know, I had prepared a set of questions, and when I talked to you, and that is something I was so optimistic about this podcast, you know, because I think I see it on stream as well. There is so much different that you have to offer, right? Your thought process is, this is so interesting. Like, why isn't the greed there? This is something which is different. Like, I'm just bringing it out right now. Why isn't the greed there to, okay, how am I sustaining myself? Example, I don't know, of course, about how you're managing, but how am I sustaining myself? Okay, why not? If I can make 20k this month, why not make a lakh a month? Or why not start making 3 lakh a month? Or I think I'm really good at abhi main 5-10 pe khel hi nahi sakta. I want to play 25-50. Like I'm facing that. Yeah, now I can't go back to 5-10.
ये बच्चे लोग के साथ कौन खेलेगा? अभी मैं बड़े लोग के साथ खेलेगा.
Yeah. And if I can make 10k a month, it's very easy. अरे अभी चल रहा है. I can make 10k easy every month. So now let's start making 50k. So these questions, like I know people who, and you know these people as well, who come and sit with 20 bigs on 50-100 or 25-50, and they should not be doing that, right? Basic says that go back to 1-2 example. So how are you?
They should be doing that for you, but
So how are you managing to do that? Like I want to, like, what is this mindset that you keep talking about, and how can you actually inculcate it into people? Like first, let's just talk about you. How's that coming?
I feel it begins the day you leave, you know, some set comfort or some set, you know, you guaranteed income, you know, GGD salary that we have. Once you start deviating from that, like for me, I feel the turning point was realizing that like making a lakh per month or more per month, and going down to 0 per month, like, you know, for a period of 1.5 years, like after I left my job, I'd set my life role, I'd set my expense role aside, and I realized that I was spending like whatever 60-70k for example per month, and I could sustain with 5k per month. I could live with like 10k per month. Not at all. I mean, not pinching my stomach and eating one time and all. Not studying under the street light, but even doing good amount of stuff, even eating once in a while outside, and doing other stuff also, while paragliding, while doing some activities, I was able to live a month within like 10-15k easy.
Got it.
So if that's the case, if that's the flexibility I have, that should not even be on my mind, since that life role is set. If I've set myself like I'm not going to exceed this lifestyle for next 3 years, I've decided in my head, and I'm fine with it. Like probably you have to be okay with that as well. Like if you're not okay living with just 5 pair of t-shirts, or, you know, just that's it for a year, if you're not okay with that, then probably you'll have to find some different way. But I feel if this is okay, that can be a great start. And then from there on, you realize that, you know, the comfort is, you know, you keep on resetting the comfort benchmark every day. Like yesterday I ate outside, you know, a nice thali with a dessert and all. That was comfort then. Today I ate a simple thali, that's comfort today. So if that's fine, then things can follow. And it's not, I'm not trying to advocate, like, you know, go to the minimal and live there.
Go simple.
That's it. I'm not saying that. I'm saying once we know that is our range, we can work so much with it. Are we live? I can't see you. Check.
Yep. Sorry, okay. I just I'm back.
Okay, so freezing up again. Hold on. Should we reconnect?
Bhushan, just a second. Huh? I don't know what
Sure,
happened.
sure.
Why did my office internet freeze? I think I'm fine. Yeah, can talking with
Check, check.
yeah.
Should we reconnect? I mean, restart the call or something?
No, it seems it's fine now. Is it going good for you?
Yeah, it's fine for me. It's a little bit of a slideshow.
Okay.
Yeah, now it's
No.
better. Now it's better.
Yeah, it is better, but I yet see you a
Yeah,
little blur compared to what you were before. So yeah, I don't know about that. Uh, yeah, we can. Yeah, do you want to reconnect and should I
yeah.
save this
Let's check
recording?
that. Sure,
Yeah, let
let's
me just
check
save
that.
this recording. Just a second. Huh?
Sure, do that.
Stop. You sure you want to stop the recording? Yes, you will see. I think we're good. We're back.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think I have you fine. So we can continue. This part will get
cool.
edited.
Okay,
Sorry, yeah. So yeah. Coming back,
no
you
problem.
said going minimal. Yeah.
So once we understand that's a range, like we have our life role set, like we think in terms of role now, yeah, life role is set. Then what do you want to do? If you want to put in some efforts, do you want to do it again with the minimal possible expenses, or have you put aside some expenses? Now, having done that journey from zero bankroll and working, way up, I can comfortably say that it is always good to start with a 10-20K at least kind of a bankroll, at least that much, because you don't have to do those absolute zero stakes or absolute 10 rupee stakes, because there it's simply brutal. Anything you learn, anything you want to apply won't apply. You will have to find fishy ways of
Yeah.
winning
Yeah.
those
Yeah.
stakes,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that's not good in the long term. You learn bad things and you spend a little bit of time unlearning them, and spend, like I spoke the other day, you make mistakes today, you make the same mistakes tomorrow, they are going to hurt equally as well, but they're going to be more expensive. So you don't want to do that. So do the mistakes today, learn from them, and don't do them the next time. So if we want to do that, I feel that's a really nice way of looking at it. And for me, this has worked plenty well. Like, I know my life role is set, I know what I'm looking at is set. So if it's just a matter of putting in time and effort, that's anyway
It's
my
in your
thing.
control. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we are doing it.
Wow. Perfect.
And about greed, you talked about greed, right? Why
Yeah.
not
Yeah, and don't you have, because you're also a traveling
yeah,
buff, and I see that you're like way more advanced in tech and gadgets and stuff. So don't you have that greed that okay, I want to get this, or okay, I want to buy this or that, or are you doing that and you're
sure.
happy? Like today, my comfort I've got. Like I wanted to travel to Himachal, I already managed to do that. Now I'm okay to not travel for a year. Or how do you play that?
In terms of travel, like I mentioned earlier, like I have decided to give at least another year and at least 2 years probably to completely towards this, because I see a lot of potential developing already, and it shouldn't be so difficult. And like I said, I'm not even thinking about it. I'm just thinking about working on the game every single day. I'm thinking of things to improve, thinking of things that I have been doing good, and they need to get better. Like, even more aggressive three betting,
So the
even
greed.
more approach of going, putting in max efforts from my side. That's the only goal and only focus of mine right now, and everything else is just following. Fortunately, for the last 1 year, it hasn't been all upward growth and anything. If you see my graphs, they have been like they have gone down, and then now they are on a steady incline.
I think that's the
So
way it is always. So yeah.
of course, and it has to go down again, and it has to go up again if I keep doing all the right things.
So
So
what I understand is money is a factor which is not even being considered. It's just so that doesn't matter. So greed never comes in because greed is money. So you're not even worried about that fact. You're like, let it happen on
if
its own.
yeah, I can understand why that question is recurring, because if the focus is money, if the focus is to get again to get rich instantly, or game is the byproduct and money is the main attention, then that greed and that aspect can definitely seep in. But if you're already loving, like today, like a few months ago I was playing 500 or 800 average buying stakes. Today I'm playing 1600 or 2500 kind of average buying stakes, and the games that I'm playing up are just amazing. I mean, every time I fire up a blockbuster race or whatever other events, I'm content playing them. I'm like, wow, how can I play this player better? How can I, rule this table? How can I be
Yeah.
absolutely dominating in these spots? So uh, my focus is not on the number of buy-in. It is average buy-ins. Like in big blinds. Doesn't matter what stakes you're playing. You're sitting with 100 big blinds. That's it, and you want to win
Correct.
as many as possible in that.
Sure.
So for me, it's just that, and everything else is just following.
Wow.
It's just tagging along with everything,
Got it.
with
So
what
I have
you're
my
looking
next
at.
question, which is about streaming and content making. I'm going
Right.
to see that I want to edit a few questions out so that because I don't want to keep the same questions away.
Repeat it. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you always been a content maker?
I've been an avid content consumer
Ah,
for almost entire life, and for the past few months, past few years, I've been a solid content maker, I would say.
yeah, yeah,
I've
for
been
sure.
trying to make content, the kind of content I would have loved to watch and follow 6 months ago. Like a new poker player like me, I'm trying to look at so many avenues. I'm trying to look at what Matt Staples is doing. I'm trying to look at what Patrick Leonard is doing, and I find such a huge gap in the Indian scene right
Yeah,
now. I do follow a lot of Poker Guru blogs, and they have good amount of content. But then again, I understand when you devote so much time into learning and playing, it's difficult to find time for that content, and it is time consuming. You end up making it good, and you end up making it good quality that demands time. And
correct.
I totally understand why most people don't tend to do it, but at this stage I can totally afford to do it for pushing that
Got
time
it.
aside. So that's my goal in terms of content making as of now, to do something that I would have loved to follow 6 months ago.
And when people ask people, do you think you've improved? And you say, I just look at back at myself 1 year ago and I see, yeah, I've improved. So your kind of question answers are all in those directions, which is kind of the right way. So
Yeah, I didn't know straight beats full house or not. So yeah, I have improved, I would say. I know,
got
I know straight beats full house.
it.
No way.
Uh, no, it doesn't. Okay, targets that you have for content, no content, no targets, right? There's no target that you want
Target
to.
is, of course, to build a very theme driven content. Like my life of a poker rookie is
Correct.
something that I have thought about for quite some time, and I intend to build up on that. I intend to share tools, share my processes, what I follow, probably a few routines, and a lot more in depth also in the coming few weeks. I also plan to share a few tools and stuff. I have been collaborating and talking with a few people who are making tools, online tools, and they have given me some sort of access, early bird access, and they are ready to forward some more accesses also. So this is the niche that I would like to pick up, and share more about learning the game all the while, versus tickets or just a single shot at the best you can make in terms of giveaways and in terms of
Got it.
sharing with the community, in addition to what I'm doing. So here's the thing: whenever I am making content, my goal is to cater to a crowd which is looking for value in terms of working on their own game, in terms of probably contributing to value as well. Like I got a message the other day, the way I'm tracking my buy-ins, there could be some change in it, and they suggested, basically a good player suggested that I could do it in this way, and that was like brilliant. Like it's not only I'm giving value,
You're
I'm
getting value as
deriving a
well.
lot of
Yeah,
value
yeah, yeah, yeah,
from
yeah.
this. So that's exactly what I'm looking at, like generating a lot of value and sharing quality content. Not clickbait stuff is not my forte.
Yeah,
Memes are
yeah.
not
I
my
see
forte.
that. I see that. My next question was that I see you do a lot of English and content, and not it's not too
Just
massy, right?
one sec, one
Yeah, yeah,
sec.
yeah. Feel free.
Sorry.
No problem. Yeah,
Holy
yeah.
shit. They're
Lucy and
all on,
Coco.
yeah, they're all on detective mode today. Like they're
Acha.
sniffing under the door, and like if you'll find out who is there. And so like, it's not needed. All right. Okay. So
Yeah.
you're saying about yeah,
Yeah, so I see you do a lot of English stuff and not very massy stuff, right? Which is like a
yeah.
massy would be, ke, yaar, you're cracking fun jokes and like,
Mm,
something probably like what I do and which is more in Hindi and, those kind of stuff.
yeah.
I don't see you do that. So is it like a calculated call or is it something which you're like, okay, I don't want to become massy. I want, like you said, I want to go on this niche audience, which I want to give them a lot of value and I want to not talk about like fun, like too much fun. Though my name is
Yeah.
Fun Champion.
I know.
No,
I know. Quite ironic, right? But
no, I don't mean that you
essentially,
don't give fun, but I mean it's a different way.
I know.
Yeah,
I know. I know. ऐसा कुछ नहीं कि मैं हिंदी के अगेंस्ट हूँ या फिर मुझे हिंदी में बात करना नहीं आता या अच्छा नहीं लगता. ऑफ कोर्स हम सब लोग हिंदी में बात करते हैं,
करेक्ट करेक्ट.
फॉलो करते हैं. बट मुझे लगता है कि to begin with, poker is kind of a global game which has English as a very broad
Dominant.
sense
Yeah.
of a language adopted. Also, there are Spanish, language-based poker groups and all. You won't be able to follow anything in them. But I feel for the sake of being better in terms of interaction globally
Uh-huh.
as well,
Uh-huh.
having an English foundation for the game, expressing in the right terms and talking in that aspect helps a lot. And not a calculated move as such to be only English based content, but I feel I can communicate much calmer and much detached involvement kind of scenario in English versus Hindi. And honestly, language has never been my focus.
Got it.
What language, the container of what I'm looking at is never my focus. So if people are focused on that, they are probably more better off finding out content that suits their language and their requirements. And
Got it.
right away I weeded out those folks because let's face it, I'm having a mindset which is very clear, very focused in terms of what I want to do. I want to look at growth, I want to look at something positive, and I want to share it. And if people are ready to receive it, I'm more than happy to share it. I like
Got it.
if people have messaged me in terms of, can you share the sheet? Can you share this format or whatever? I've been more than happy to share it. But when the focus is not that, focus is not the content. It's about मैं कौन से कपड़े पहन रहा हूँ, कौन से ब्रांड का ये कर रहा हूँ, हिंदी में बात कर रहा हूँ कि आसामीज में बात कर रहा हूँ. तो अगर वो फोकस है तो you might as well follow me later whenever you feel you want to follow.
Got it.
So it's fine. I'm fine having 5-10 people on it, a small community which is like all about studying and all about getting better.
And you're
I
giving
feel
them value.
I feel they will extract the most value versus the people who want a certain language, who want a certain kind of way of presenting it. Like I'm
Correct.
presenting it honestly. I don't want to put up
I agree to that
a show
completely.
or
Yeah.
an act or whatever.
I've seen that.
So fine. I'm like, I totally shun it. I don't even have to make the effort to indulge into them. I can totally shun them. I wish them well. I'd say good day and stuff. I don't diss them because I do realize they're coming from a different place. They have different priorities. Does not mean they are essentially good or bad. They're just not same people.
It's like having
Yeah.
English movies in India. It's like some audience won't see it. I don't think so. They hate it. It's just that they.
Of course.
It's just that way. So I think these people are fine, and you're
Yeah,
okay
but
with that.
my thing is when KK Menon does an amazing movie and just
Uh-huh.
because it is in English, you will not watch it and you will diss it. That's bad. Like
You can't diss
that's
it.
because exactly.
Do you face that?
There's sort of not really. People do say talk in English and just that. Abhi Hindi mein kyun nahi baat kar raha hai and stuff.
Acha. Okay.
So that is kind of that's what I see. Like this guy is more interested in my language versus what I'm talking about. Like for me, what I'm talking about that is so consuming
you.
That
I just said that.
That is so overwhelming. That language and how I'm putting it, like what resolution I'm putting the video in, that is immaterial for me. Immaterial. It is not even a tertiary thought. Forget secondary. So if you are pointing that out, you and me are so different. We cannot possibly have a value-adding conversation to each other. So it's fine. We don't. We don't have traction on all kinds of communities.
Fair enough.
Eventually, I feel instead of pushing my content to masses through trying to catch as many as possible through language or through giveaways or through ticket. Even about this, I have a very strong opinion. Encouraging giveaways and encouraging one-time shots at some good tournaments is probably going to do a lot of bad in the long run. And this is something that probably we are
encouraging,
missing, or probably we are missing, or we are probably not thinking that far by doing it. Like you imagine if a poker player who is on your stream and who is waiting for a ticket, you give them a ticket, they win, and they are a good player. That's scenario one. Second scenario, you don't give them a ticket, they start cursing there, they start abusing, and they basically expose themselves on the stream, on the chat. And think of it, when you give a ticket to that kind of a person who is only there for a ticket and who's only looking for a shortcut to make some X amount of money, if at all even they become a winning player, they're not not exactly gonna portray a picture which you want to sponsor through your stream. Like I think of it in that sense. Like, is this guy is gonna be doing good with whatever opportunity I am helping them with? Then by all means, I wouldn't mind to give them a ticket
Taking your
out of
time.
my pocket.
Got it. Got it. Got it.
That's fine by me. But if a person has a shaky approach to begin with, and it's a very क्या बोलते हैं इसको, काम निकालने वाला चीज होता है वैसा वाला, so why are we even trying to encourage it in,
Yeah.
especially in a game like poker? We are not doing horse racing streams or other streams where we are encouraging, like, तुम लगाओ, तुम्हारा
Yeah.
किस्मत खुलेगा
Yeah.
तो
Yeah.
खुलेगा टाइप. So in this way I feel we are doing exactly that. मतलब हम लोग बोल रहे हैं कि हम लोग को रिजल्ट ओरिएंटेड नहीं होना है, हम लोग को we should
Yeah.
not be looking at money, and the titles of our streams are we won 2 lakhs in one night.
Guilty of that.
isn't
But
that
yeah.
isn't
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean
Yeah.
ironic again,
Yeah.
that we do that?
We're guilty of that. I'm guilty of that. But but in my counter to that, not a counter actually.
Mm.
It's just the way I see it is
Your
like the way,
approach, yeah.
yeah, the way the game is right now. Again, probably I'm going for the views and for the numbers part of it, right?
Right.
So what attracts maybe 2000 views, and then someone's going to come back and then say that, okay, that's how people are getting attracted to the game. Someone is coming in because of the money, right? A lot of people are coming
All
in
right.
for the money. So how do
Sure.
they come in for the first time, and then how do they stick around? Is that they now need to start playing and learning. Like that's very
Sure.
important.
Sure.
Why do they come in for the
Right.
first time? Very important. Like when you were consuming YouTube videos, was it like, when you like you were just aware of poker? Was it because of the money, or maybe I don't know about you,
Yeah,
but I know a
honestly, my
lot.
thing was different. But yeah, I
Yeah,
understand
yeah,
masses will draw. My thing was never about money, by the way.
yeah,
I
yeah.
love
I kind of
how
figure.
people,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
I
love
kind
the
of.
dynamics of cash tables. I haven't played cash much at all, but I love the
Oh,
dynamics of a cash table. I love watching, the greatest of the great play cash.
I think you would be really good at cash games, by the way. I feel because you can kind of set your mindset would be ready, and cash games gives you that flexibility, right? That you now know these spots exactly, and you can kind of play them again and again.
Probably.
Yeah.
I will
Anyway.
give it a shot. That's on my goal, but far off in the distance, not
Oh
much.
wow. Okay.
Yeah.
On
So, but
last.
then again, no, I'll come back to that point again.
Uh,
When we are going for views, I agree. The drawing thing could be, this kind of money can be
Matey
made with
approach. Yeah,
poker.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
fine. But when it becomes very recurring theme in terms of pushing
A
content
quick
of poker,
way to make money.
that's not the best. At least that's not what I subscribe to. I want to subscribe, like, yes, you put in this effort over a year. Like I would like to project like that. Like over a year, I spent these many hours studying.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
would have spent these many hours working also, but I made this progress in poker. I've been able to play these events. I've been able to take a shot at these events where probably I made a few finishes which were like 1 lakh, 2 lakh, 3 lakh. That's fine to project, I feel,
yeah,
because that shows a picture which is very close to real. Like you
yeah.
want to see over a year. You want to tell them that over this year, there was a period where I wasn't winning at all. Like I was like 3 weeks in a row I was bricking. So that is very realistic, still very inspiring in my opinion.
It is. You're right.
Chris Moneymaker stories are amazing, no doubt about it. And there
Yeah.
should be
Abhishek
one in a year.
Maheshwari stories. Abhishek
Yeah,
Maheshwari's.
Maheshwari stories, exactly.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
there should be one in a year, I feel, because that's the frequency of those events, right? One in a year,
yeah.
and those should not be the staple for pushing.
Yeah, no, I
We don't.
completely
And
agree.
honestly, the people that are going to come and stick to your stream, cash games, they're going to watch you play cash games. Bhai tune ye kyun nahi khela? Yeah, like yesterday, somebody was saying, that Mac Cardi, I think that player, he mentioned on my stream like, अच्छा हुआ तुम king jack open किया. मैं बोला, yeah, it's an open according to me, according to the ranges, it's an open, so I do open. And yesterday he noticed that on the stream some pro open king jack, and he was telling Shobit like, yeah, king jack open karte hai UTG dekho. It's like, so that is the kind of traction that will anyway come to the streams, that people are going to observe. They're going to be there for the game and for how you play it, for how they play it, and the whole synergy in between.
Yeah.
So agree. You need a starter, but I feel all of
The
us
eventual
receive that
direction.
starter.
Yeah. No, I'm with you on that. Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, go on. Please complete.
No, go ahead.
Okay, I was going to head to this thing that on your last stream you said there should not be too much money in poker, and I
Yeah.
just heard it on your stream. I didn't know what that
Yeah.
means. So if you could just
Yeah,
help
of
me
course.
understand. Yeah.
Of course. I, you know what? I feel too much money or too much of course, anything goes to your head real quick. And in poker, the thing is, just for few hours. Like you imagine in a tournament, somebody who's a super recreational player can come in and win like a kind of sum that is probably impossible to win in a year also for so many
Correct.
people. Win नहीं, sorry, earn.
On.
डिफिकल्ट टू अर्न इन अ ईयर. मतलब लोगों के
Yeah.
सीटीसी टाइप बीट हो जाते हैं
Correct.
एक कोई एक टूर्नामेंट में कि
Correct.
लाइक आई मतलब देयर इज नो रीजन टू टेक नेम्स बट there were a few things I read about few players who said that they were almost so low on their bankroll that they came in and they took a shot
Yeah,
at
you're right.
11K, 5K. Very common stories, and these stories are by far the most common stories that we have heard. Again, this promotes so much of a picture which is like, spin off. Like you
Yeah.
put this and this can happen. Like this can happen. They're just telling, you just buy
Yeah.
this lottery ticket and you can win an amount which will set you for life.
Yeah.
So that is the reason why I said it, like, there should not be so much money in poker. Like you just imagine lesser money, like any other sport you think about which has lesser money, but the skill, the input, the effort that requires for you to get
Yeah.
good is
Yeah.
equally
Yeah.
there. So if you're in there for the love of the game, eventually you will scale up, of course. But right now, the amount of
Do,
scale up that happens, even with or without any study of the game, that is kind of scary and probably double-edged sword at the moment. Because
yeah,
see,
I'm with you.
people get into trouble. People get into trouble with this hope of making a life-changing score, and if they get into trouble for that, and if that picks up some wind in some communities, and people see that this is causing a lot of problems, like worst of the worst case scenarios, like people borrow money for it
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then they are pressurized and they're not able to repay. So that will cause so much of repercussions in a society. Like
Yeah.
people will find it difficult to even justify, why this shit should
Correct.
even exist. So stuff like this kind of pushes me to say, there should be some kind of lesser money in poker. Like all these GTD tournaments should be 1-0 lesser. Then it would
Everyone's
then,
working to add a zero extra. I
yeah,
have Bhushan, you're saying
I
one
would,
zero.
yeah, I would say more skill will come in to the game when that zero gets knocked out of it.
Yeah.
Because then it's not about the money so much. Like it will really be not about the money. I mean,
It'll
so
be,
many people, so many
yeah.
players say it's not about the money. I love the game so much. Yeah, all right. If it were paying less, would you still play it? Would you pay if it were paying 30% of what it does right now? Would you still play it? The maybe not. So that's the case
Yeah.
probably of all the people who are into niche sports, shooting and all sorts of sports which we don't really think about, javelin and other stuff. Now everybody knows Neeraj, but
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
earlier on nobody knew. I mean I didn't know a single javelin throw
Yeah. Yeah.
athlete,
Yeah.
yeah, gymnast or whatever. So that's the thing. If there's a lot of skill involved, let's pay in picture. There's no fame, you may not even exist for your neighbor, but whenever there's money involved, whenever zeros get added,
Yeah.
things get very muddy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I can, yeah, I understand. But then the things are like, why would people even choose that as a career? Because like
Yeah,
like a lot of people want to make money out of it. Like that's the whole point. I don't want to get into
sure,
that point again. Like that's the whole thing. But
sure.
somewhere that needs to, I think the baby steps need to be taught better. Like you shouldn't be allowed to enter such tournaments, like you said. Till there should be like your grading system. Till you don't qualify this, you're not allowed to enter somewhere. Maybe
But
that can,
yeah, but then the big can of worm opens. Who is to say,
yeah, yeah,
who is supposed to do what? But yeah,
yeah,
the moral of the story is like, of course, that's a very utopian or very idealistic thought to have. Like less money should be involved. Reality is that
the game, yeah,
there are so many losing players to make up a pyramid of poker to have those many few people at the top, that it has to be like that. If
correct.
lesser money was involved, it would be brutally bad. I mean, जो 10% winners है वो भी 2% हो जाते हैं,
Yeah, yeah.
ऐसा भी है. So I do understand that, but this is just a thought of
Yeah,
expressing
from that
that
process
aspect.
only, I don't have this question ready, but I'm going to go ahead and ask you. Do you ever, because now that you're promoting the game as well, does it ever come to you that why so many stories we keep hearing, and I don't know if you get it on Instagram. A lot of people reach out to, like they reach out to me or on Facebook, etc., saying that I've made so much loss. I met with an accident. Please,
Yeah,
can you give me money one time? And I'm sure you also get it. So when these stories come in, it's like, they're very helpless, and it's not the situation of an accident. They really want that money to play again, and that addiction level has come in. Does it make you think that am I doing the right thing, or am I in the right spot, or like should I be promoting or not? Or does it come to you ever, or how do you
uh,
see that?
I had this fleeting thought a lot
Yeah.
earlier, like probably in the first month I started playing poker.
Wow.
I had this thought ki I'm winning money from somebody for whom it might mean today's meal.
Yeah.
Do I want to win that money? So it was like kind of probably too philosophical way of thinking it,
No, but it is. I
but
every time
it
come
is
back to that. Yeah.
in the yeah, in the end it is what it is. If somebody is putting their money, they're wagering their meal money, today's meal money on a tournament, it's by their choice they're doing it. If it's a system that they're driving, it's a big pool of it's a big pot of money that they're putting it in.
Yeah.
If they fish out something big, they're happy. Otherwise, they'll still do it tomorrow. So that's we have to understand that from the 90% of the losing players, there'll be at least 60% or 50% of those who are degenerates, who are just into it for gambling. And there is no feeling good or feeling sorry for them. Do you feel good if they win big? Do you feel amazing that they were able to spin it up? No. Then why do you want to feel bad when they lose it? So
Fair enough.
I mean, I've made a conscious effort to be indifferent about these thoughts and this consideration even. And if somebody and coming to the point of people asking for money, I'm very good at saying no. I straight up say no. I don't buy action yet. uh, as of now, I've been investing heavily in myself, and it's the returns are amazing. so so I don't intend to invest. I'm not looking for opportunities. I tell them that politely. I also encourage them to look at learning the game, although I know it's such a lost cause,
Yeah.
and it is so negative EV for me to even type it out. But still,
Yeah.
I want to make that one effort to tell that guy, say, look, this is not going to help. Like a few people have reached out to me, and they are constantly in touch with me, and I'm coaching them about a little bit about improving their mental aspect, thinking about recovery and all these things, like that mindset, like getting away from it. I've pushed in some podcasts and stuff like Poker Mind Mastery by Litro, and few more podcasts which really talk about going broke, downswings, how people think in those terms, how good people, how good players have gone through that and have actually made good for themselves, probably gotten to break even. Gus Hansen probably is the biggest BAP example of it
Yeah.
all.
Yeah. Yeah. 20 million.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so biggest loser. I mean, whatever you want to call it. So, but the point is, there is so much missed while looking at poker. When you look at GTDs, you miss all of this, all of this.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so
For
I feel it's important to make that one effort to try and tell them that like this is what I feel is best for you. And if they
yeah.
even they don't want to indulge in for the conversation, that's their call. But
Yeah.
I do my best to at least push that one line, even though I do realize it's probably 99% of the time it's a waste of my time, but I still go ahead and do it
Yeah.
because that's the responsibility I feel when situation
Yeah.
is there.
I,
I
I
by no means I invest or
got it.
I dole out any money.
I asked them to go for a job, and I have this company that encourages telecalling. So I'm like, okay, get up a job there. You start making 5K in like 3 days. So yeah, but no one ever has shown interest. That can you connect me to that company? So yeah. Okay, last question. So
You're giving them the harder route now. Give them a
yeah,
lottery ticket.
yeah, yeah,
They'll
yeah,
happily
yeah.
take it.
Yeah, I know. So, okay, I have like a lot of questions, but we'll stop it here with the last question here.
Cool.
What I have is, you give me a very Zen-like feel, and I think it's with everyone. You give a very Zen feel, and not too much bothered and indifferent, like the words you mentioned, and all of it is pretty much Zen, right? So, do you have your tilt moments, and what are they like?
I would say I've had zero tilt until today because of the fact that even before I started any game, any table, I was already a little bit. I had a little bit of a jump start in terms of the mental game, in terms of knowing that results and inputs and outcomes and all of these things have their own place, and uh, me going mad or me doing dumb stuff is not going to change anything. And probably a little bit of a conjuice dimag helps in this way. Like you realize that breaking this mouse is only going to mean more expense, so you've already
Ah,
lost a hand. Don't lose your mouse. so
yeah,
so if I realize
correct.
that, probably if that helps a little bit, just joking about it. But uh as long as we understand the nature of the game, I don't think tilt has a place even for most part. If they hit their two outer and everything, that's all it is. They hit their two outer. We move to the next hand. I've always believed there's
I've
no
seen you
one
do that.
session, there's no one day, there's no one tournament. It's all a huge sample size that we are creating through our life, and
Yeah.
that's the sample size we are looking at. It's not going to be मेरे 10 बार में से 5 बार एसेस क्रैक हो गए मतलब ये rigged है या फिर whatever. All the hey, get back. Okay, once again, hold on
No
please.
problem.
Sorry.
Yeah, you're on mute. Yeah.
Yeah, unmuted.
Okay. So,
All right, sorry. So
yeah,
getting
go
back
on,
to
go on.
tilt. So
Yeah.
I don't think there should be any tilt involved in that sense. There could be other issues that are playing on your mind which might cause the tilt or which might cause you to go bonkers on a table. But trust me, it's not the hand that you lost. It's a lot more that happened before that.
Wow. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what I feel. And as long as you're clear in your head about what's happened before, and probably having a bad memory like mine helps because you don't remember much, or you selectively, just shun things out very nicely. So I think that helps a lot. And then there's no zen. It's just what you are. You're not trying to, not have tilt or whatever issues. I'd probably sometimes not being reactive is something that I struggle, with.
Got it. Fair enough. Okay. So done with the questions. I'm going to
Yeah.
throw at you like 5, 6 quick questions. I need one word answer
Okay.
because we all
Okay.
like Karan Johar.
Alright.
So we'll do a Baazi rapid fire, quick one. Okay.
All right.
We'll go fast. One Indian poker player you wish you could play like and why?
Oh, Gaurav Sood, of course.
Wow.
I
'Cause-
follow him on the tables, and whenever I'm playing a tournament, if he's playing some tournament, he's on the side, and I keep watching him, and it's just an amazing style of playing, man. I just love it.
Yeah, he's aggressive and he's good. Yeah. Okay. 3 things that are wrong with Indian poker scene.
First of all, pushing a lot of money. Second of all, not focusing too much on preparation and the work that goes into even before the first hand. And third thing, probably a lot less exposure in terms of what the game is.
Okay.
Even though there's PSL and there is a lot of stuff happening, good stuff, still I feel with the volume of people we have, it's a lot less.
Got it.
But that's not wrong. That's something that we should work on.
Yeah, of course. Okay.
First two things are wrong in my opinion.
Yeah. Okay. Get it. So I get the exposure part. So it's marketing money.
Yeah.
That's needed. Okay. Fair enough.
I guess.
Favorite streamer and why?
Actually I keep shifting. There's no one favorite. I love almost all of them, and although this might sound very political, but I do look for one positive thing in everything that I follow, and I just love it. Like I used to follow a lot of streams by Atman. If I have to pick one, Anuj Kodam, and a lot about his philosophy and how he talks about poker and stuff. Like probably try to mimic his calm so many times. So probably I would pick him on stream. And on the international circuit, there are plenty, but I love Spraggy's sense of humor, Lex's, again, the way he just, drills through stuff.
Yeah.
So, plenty, man. I mean, I cannot pick one, honestly.
Fair enough. If not poker, then?
There's already paragliding.
Got it. So you would go back there again if you had to.
I am there. I haven't gone away from it.
Okay.
It's already there.
Okay. An Indian poker crush that you've got?
Poker crush? Nikita Luther.
Okay. Would you want to leave a legacy behind in poker? What would that be? If you have to be known by something, what would that be?
Awesome rookie.
Okay. Best part about streaming?
I just have fun, man.
Okay.
I just have fun.
Biggest
I don't
win?
see any other biggest win.
Sorry, I cut it there.
For me, it has been my first win, some 1,000 rupee tournament. I mean, 1,000 rupee win as the first prize, because that was the first one.
Best purchase with your poker money? Last question.
Best purchase with the poker money. I've purchased so much. I don't know what's the best. Probably the mic, because it gives me, clear passage through.
Yeah, clearly I'm not making a lot of money. I haven't invested on the mic and stuff.
You should.
Yeah. Sure. I just lack the ability to integrate stuff, and that's where I suck at this. So I need to
integrate what?
I just don't know how to sync up all of this and get the things going. So that's my problem there.
Oh, I have a very easy tip. Just put some priority list and buy one thing at a time. It's not like I purchased 20 items at the same time. I knew mic was the first priority because I wanted to be clear in my speech
Uh-huh.
and in my expression. So that first, and camera last. Everything should follow in between, I feel.
Got
Just
it.
go with a mic. You have to get a mic, man. You have to sound clear. I mean, I hate it. I mean, I'm sorry to say, but I hate it when
No,
I hear bad audio on
fair
stream.
enough.
Like, then why am I hearing? Why am I
Yeah,
listening to
yeah.
you?
It's
That's
a
the
it's
thing.
a audio
Yeah, I know.
podcast is also audio, correct?
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah,
But I love when people take that effort of putting in a little bit of more quality in what they are doing. So I
yeah.
love that aspect of it.
Great, Bhushan. We've got everything. Thank you so much, man. It's
All
been
right. I'm
fantastic.
still not sure how much value we're adding, but
I
I'm
personally
glad
think
to.
it's in my I'd want to say it's one of the best ones, but you just feel that I'm saying it for you, so I'm
Of
just saying
course,
it.
you are just saying it for me. I
Yeah, there
know,
you go.
but it's
Exactly.
but
No,
it's
no, no.
okay.
I would not do that. I think it's really fantastic. It's been an amazing one, and
All
I've
right.
never deviated so much from the questions because it was been so this thing. So it's been fantastic, man. Thank you so much, yeah, buddy.
Awesome, man. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Bhushan.
All right.